Hi, I'm George Sam with Main Street Medina. Welcome to another edition of Medina Minute. Today we're going to sit down and talk with some people you see around town and hear their stories. Come join me. Today we're sitting down with Josh Lehman from Operation Fandom and Blackbird Records. Welcome to Medina.
Thank you.
You guys are new in our neighborhood?
We are, yes.
So where is your business and what do you do at Operation Fandom?
All right, so our business is located at 8 and 10 Public Square, where the old Ormsby's train store was. And John moved his store around the corner. We get that asked quite a bit, so he's still around.
Still giving directions.
Still giving directions every day, somebody walking in with a train. Operation Fandom is heavily built on 80s and 90s retro nostalgia, toys, collectibles, that kind of stuff. And we try to bring a little bit of Hollywood into the downtowns and in our neighborhoods that we're in here in Ohio.
Nice. So where are you in Ohio?
Okay, so our first store, we started back in 2018 in downtown Worcester.
Okay.
A couple years later, we were able to acquire Lucky Records that was there with our friend had started it years ago. And so we have Operation Fandom and Blackbird Records in downtown Worcester in two separate buildings, and now we were able to join you guys on the square here this year.
Cool.
Same concept, both stores in one building.
So that's how it is in Worcester too?
Yeah, Worcester is actually two separate buildings, and the original where it started, and here we're
so
able
to
to
go to
do
one
it together.
side and shop,
Yes.
and then go right around to the record store side?
All the collectibles, all the nostalgia in one shopping.
Awesome. So what are some of the items that are popular on both sides?
So on both sides, vinyl's been hot again. We're getting anywhere from teenage kids that are actually spending the money and taking the time to play records again, you know, all the way up to the 70s and 80-year-olds that are just trying to, you know, piece together whatever they're missing on their collections.
So you sell record machines too?
We do,
so
yeah.
I know not everyone has those in their
Right,
houses.
yep, that stays hot now too. It's always a good Christmas gift. But vinyl records, turntables, speakers we sell to go with that, and then we even go back and do CDs, concert posters, just really, we try to capture the history of what we do and the nostalgia behind it. So we carry all the way back to the 40s and 50s even over there. Yeah.
And then on the Operation Fandom side, we're the most popular collectibles. That
On Operation Fandom, we're pretty well known for the 80s and 90s toys. We have big displays of Harry Potter, which was really popular. We popped open in August for the Wizarding weekend downtown here.
Right.
A big display of Star Wars, and we try to do it all the way back to 1977 when it started.
Okay.
And then we fill in everything from gaming to new toys to old Transformers. And I would say it's kind of funny, but probably our most popular items are just simply Fandom stickers and buttons. People come through and they ooh and ah and reminisce, and then they buy all these, you know, stickers and buttons. So we try to have something for everybody. A family can walk in.
So it's not just for kids.
That's it.
It's adults that want to kind of relive some of their childhood, right?
Yes. The fun part is we'll see three generations come in where you had the parent that bought it for the kids in the 80s.
Yeah.
Now that's person's a parent, they're sharing it with their kids as well.
Awesome.
So it's fun to see the stories passed on while they're shopping around the store.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how did you get into this?
So my dad and I started a company back in 1990 that was sports cards, memorabilia, autographs, that kind of stuff. And this has just kind of evolved over the years into about 15 years of being an eBay business, where we made a lot of connections with dealers and actually shipped all over the world, and saw a lot of positive feedback on their excitement and just how well it was received, how much people loved one-of-a-kind gifts, you know, Hollywood kind of things. And one day we decided, boy, we should have a retail store. We should put this on a wall. We should let people come in and enjoy it instead of just shipping it to somewhere in the world nobody else sees it.
Right.
Let's put it on the wall and let people reminisce about it, and it's just taken off from there.
So it's kind of a family passion, not just yours.
It is, yeah. It started with my dad and I, and now we're blessed enough to have a few of our family members working for us at the different stores. So
very neat.
Yep.
So besides the store, what do you do for fun?
For right now, I would say the for fun is the managing the stores.
It's kind of fun.
It's a passion. It's one of those. We do have young kids, so they're our other hobby. You know, they're in sports and school and all that.
School-age kids.
School-age kids. But then with our older...
School dad.
School dad, yep. So you hope that you get them to bed on time and that you're able to get back up and look for more fun products to bring into the stores. But
cool.
We do have a couple of 20-some-year-old daughters that help us between Worcester, and then my daughter McCartney helps at our new Medina store too.
Okay.
So
very cool. So for fun you do this, for business you do this?
Business, yeah.
What's the most rewarding thing about having a collectible store?
So
and records too.
Oh
like
yeah,
collectible records.
So really for us, more than the money, we've said, we kind of started. I have a guy in Worcester that we threw this idea off each other about 5 years ago that it would be great to have something for the 40 and 50-year-olds to come in and talk about and reminisce about, you know, as everybody's turning the corner and their kids are getting older.
Yeah.
And the passion for us has always been seeing the different items that come into the store, but mainly really just the excitement. I've been in retail for about 30 years now. And this is definitely the one company where you can say every day people are actually thanking you for being there.
Yeah.
You know, thanks for having this. Thanks for being in our town. And it's very rewarding to, you know, to hear the stories and to see the what it means to people. Just a simple toy, a simple sports jersey, you know, you name it. Having an old album that they haven't had for 20 years. So it's fun to connect it and have it go home to the right collector.
Cool.
Yeah.
And did you grow up in Worcester? Like, was that where you started?
Just a little bit west of that, down in the Kidron area, down by Lehman's Hardware.
Okay.
Down there, and that's kind of where my retail career got started. I managed that company, it's a pretty large retail store, for about 9 years. And down there, I guess you would say it's kind of like we are here. It's hospitality driven.
Okay.
So you are advertising literally all over the world. People are coming in, and you're just hearing them reminisce about old time stuff, and a lot of memories, a lot of heartfelt conversations, that kind of stuff. So we basically took that idea and modernized it into the 80s and 90s era now.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
And hopefully
nostalgic doesn't mean it's the same thing to everyone.
Right. We thought
Depends
it was
on
going
the
to be
decade.
80s and 90s, but we've got 25-year-olds coming in now buying things that they had 15 years
2000s,
ago.
right?
Yeah. So it's not
So
old;
true.
it's just nostalgic or retro.
To
so,
them,
to
whatever
them.
it is to
Yeah.
them. As far as your record collection goes, what would you consider to be your biggest find, your best find, and your best sell?
When we took over Blackbird and Worcester, it was very much based on used records down there, the inventory. Dave wanted to make sure that he saw somebody take over the store and keep it going. So he gave us helped us with the transition. With it came about 20 or 30,000 used records.
Wow.
So we said we'll never even be able to process all these, you know. So we decided that we're good on that. I mean, we still buy collections really every day. People come in with crates. But
So you buy also?
We do buy as well.
Okay.
So most stores we buy, from collectors off the street,
Okay.
Buy, sell, and trade. And we decided to go heavy then on new vinyl, because you have a lot of teenagers, a lot of 20-something-year-olds that just want a brand new one, a colored vinyl, something like that. It's more collectible, more fun in a way, I think, to the younger crowd. So we popped up sections of new vinyl in all 3 locations, and then we added fun decorative things like retro concert posters, shirts, that kind of stuff that people could just buy as collectors or put on their walls.
Nice.
So-
So I would imagine like the Beatles are probably still
Beatles still go.
major collectible.
Everybody, has them or has had them, but it's always fun to see that maybe that new collector come in and buy the Beatles or Rolling Stones, that kind of
Awesome.
stuff from the 60s. So,
Rolling Stones,
yeah.
Those big names. I
Yeah.
also noticed in looking through your stuff that you have some really unique things, like records that I remember as a child that weren't necessarily popular, but they were something that I was interested in. So you have a collection of really different things too.
We do.
I saw.
We do. My brother-in-law Eddie runs oversees our Blackbird records, and a lot of times you'll see him processing stuff at Worcester. But one of the things we talked about doing is making sure that we didn't leave anybody out. So there's a very full range, eclectic collection. We've even had old 45s come in that usually you can just throw them in the basement, not worry about it. But he went through it with with a guy that he knew and found a couple little 45s that were worth over $2,000 each. So it can be anything from, you know, a demo over in another country to an Ohio garage rock band, just things that you don't see very often. We try to incorporate just everything we can find and make sure that everybody's included.
Well, you do local collections too of local artists?
You know
like
what?
Devo would be one of them.
Oh yeah. We do, music-wise, we do a little bit of everything. And we, speaking of local, we even sometimes have local art in our stores that are music-related as well.
Okay.
Got somebody that we know from Worcester that is painting us a Nirvana one right now that'll go above our couch, and big 3-foot by 5-foot Rolling Stones one in Mansfield and so on. So we just try to pull it all together for. Maybe you don't listen to vinyl records, but we still have something music related for you. You know,
It's just interesting to come and kind of reminisce.
It is, yes.
And then on the other side too, the collectible side, is there something there that you would think is about popular, the most popular thing besides the Harry Potter?
Yeah, I would say.
I heard you have like a Star Warsy thing and Back to the Future stuff there.
Yes. We have a large collection of new and used Star Wars. We're very heavy on Back to the Future related collectibles. We have a DeLorean that from the Ohio DeLorean Club that comes down a couple times every year, and you can put Marty's jacket, hat, hoverboard on, take photos by the DeLorean, that kind of stuff. So it really hits home with our age demographic, you know, the 80s era. So that's been popular. A lot of times we'll also have autographs from those. So the old Star Wars actors, Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, on hoverboards, jackets, you name it. You know, we try to have stuff in there that people wouldn't expect to see. You know,
some
in a
movie
small
buffs
store.
from way back.
Yes.
Collectibles and different collections of toys.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff you have.
Any of your toys from the 80s. One of the biggest things right now we've been doing for about 2.5 years is also cards. Everybody collected cards in the late 80s, early 90s, and then kind of got out of it. Now, last couple of years, we're seeing just hundreds, really, of elementary school age kids even coming in with their parents or grandparents getting Pokemon cards, sports cards, and that's the thing that keeps me going the most.
Games are back.
Board
games are big again.
Yep. Everybody. Puzzles. They had a chance to sit down and do something during COVID. Right now, we're popping up a big. Retro gaming, so you think the old Atari, Nintendo era, putting up that big display this weekend for the grand opening, and so it's going to be a little bit of everything from the late 70s on up.
So cool.
I would say,
And most of your gaming stuff is not like the electronic type games; it's the actual.
So
we'll
have board gamings, or if it is electronic, it's the old Nintendo with the controllers that you played with your dad, and now they want to break it out 30 years later again and try it. So
you had mentioned COVID too, so you know, I'm sure that did bring a lot of people back home.
It did,
kind of maybe thinking about doing more things with family versus just going out all the time. Did you notice like a change in society after COVID?
I did. One of the comments I made while we were closed during COVID, when a lot of people were going more online, is I said, I feel like our type of company is going to be even more important coming out of this for mental health. People are stuck at home, or they just finally, life was busy, the world was going too fast.
Learn to take the time.
and now they kind of were forced into figuring out how to pass time. What did I enjoy as a kid? It was amazing how many people I knew from the Worcester area that were businessmen, had families, were very busy people. But then they started coming in it again and buying football cards, you know, or the kids were getting into Pokemon cards. A lot more vinyl being sold. So you could tell that people were finding ways to entertain themselves at home again, which was great to see. So,
that's so cool. So it's all back again.
It's all,
And you have everything.
We carry it all. We try to do everything we can. Yep.
So
everything
cool.
we can fit into a little store.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for sitting down with me today. I appreciate it. And what is the address again?
Address is, we have two sides. The left side, Operation Fandom, is 10 Public Square. And the right side is Blackbird Records at 8 Public Square. Awesome. And our grand opening's coming up October 14, 15, and 16.
That's good.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for sitting down with us today, and best of luck.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks for the tip. Thank you.
Armstrong is proud to partner with Main Street Medina to produce the Medina Minute series to support our local businesses and our community. As a dedicated member since 2007, Armstrong sponsors local events like the Southtown Cruise-Ins, the Medina Farmers Market, Kids Day of Safety and Play, and the Medina Candlelight Walk. To keep up with the latest Medina Minute episodes, tune into the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel on Channel 100 or visit Armstrong Neighborhood Channel on YouTube.